Yo guys, what's up? Welcome back. It's week 4. Time for the dreaded who do we start, who do we pick up, what do we do? Man, I'm telling you the injuries are getting worse and worse every week. I actually picked up a couple of guys this week only to find out that they are actually out for at least a month. So, if you haven't heard, Alan Lazard is out for at least 4 to 5 weeks. He had some sort of a core muscle surgery. Saints are missing their two best corners. Who else? I mean, I don't even at this point. I don't know who else, but so it's going to be another one of those kind of toss-up weeks. So let's start off with the. I was 12-2-1 in my pick slide. Obviously, we all know the tie was between Cincinnati and Philadelphia. Get to Philadelphia. Um, two games that I lost were the Carolina Chargers game. I had Chargers. Oh, I'm sorry, I was 11-3-1. I missed a loss. Excuse me. Missed the Arizona game. Detroit won that by a field goal. Carolina beat the Chargers, and the Chiefs beat the Ravens. Uh, I kind of thought Kansas City was going to kind of. So I'm going to say this now. I worried about Kansas City having a hangover from that Monday night game. Just week. The Patriots are coming in. You know how Bill Belichick is. That's going to be an interesting game Sunday. Chiefs are at home, so I mean, in theory, Chiefs play pretty well at home. But so, all right, enough of that. We're going to move on to. I have some pickups this week that are kind of a little bit under the radar, but um, could have an impact nonetheless. So let's start with T. Higgins from Cincinnati. Watched the game last week against the Eagles. Caught 2 touchdowns. The only 2 touchdowns, I believe, Bengals had in that game. So it looks like Burrow's starting to develop a bit of chemistry with Higgins. You got Tyler Boyd. I'm not really big on AJ Green this year. I think he's still hurt. I mean, he's going to have a breakout game for me. And so I think T. Higgins is the go-to here. Gabriel Davis, a, probably a flex now at this point. Could have a bigger role. John Brown is. I did get a notification. John Brown is active this week for the Bills. As we know, when the game starts, he could tweak his calf again. He's out, and Gabriel Davis is probably going to be the guy that comes in. So if you're hurting for a wide receiver, he's another one you could pick up. I'm not sure if this guy. You know what? Let me look real quick before I go over here. So the next guy that's on my list is Robert Tonyan for Green Bay. Um, Obviously the Packers are pretty much fully depleted at wide receiver with no Devontae Adams, no Alan Lazard. I mean, they literally don't have a whole lot of depth at wide receiver. So Marquez Valdez Scantling, obvious play this week. I still think he's going to do all right. Atlanta's horrible against the pass. Robert Tonyan is a tight end, so I think he's going to have to step up. He's tall, 6'5", 37. Valdez Scantling. Trying to find the other receivers. I think it was Darius Shepard, maybe. Not seeing the other. Trying to scroll through. Not seeing. I do have. He's on the developmental. because literally all the rest of the receivers might have been Malik Taylor. I remember seeing another weird name, but I don't see him. So scroll back up here. So the other guy that I don't have on here, and I'm gonna mention him. I don't know how much he'll play. Tyler Irvin or Irwin. I'm not sure which one. He's a running back, but I think game he might have to play some wideout. They may put him in the game at running back and put Aaron Jones out wide. I don't know. They're gonna have to come up. They're gonna have to have a creative game plan. Falcons, but the Falcons defense is, you guys have seen, they can't hold a lead, so enough of that. Zach Moss is back for Buffalo this week, so that could affect Devin Singletary a little bit. Zach Moss is a pretty big guy, so they get able to go situation. Pretty good chance that Zach Moss comes in the game. So if you are hurting for running back and probably a guy that's got touchdown potential for you. Brian Hill for the Falcons. I did watch that game last week. Played about 38, 39% of the snaps. And he had some good gains. He can catch the ball. So not real big on Gurley this week. Brian Hill. So Falcons are banged up. Julio Jones is questionable. Calvin Ridley is questionable. Russell Gage is out. They're kind of hurting too. It's basically two wounded teams, but in my opinion, the better defense is obviously Green Bay. So yeah, Brian Hill's he's like a absolute flyer. Hurting for next guy. Not sure how many people have him. Preston Williams for Miami. They're playing Seattle this week. I know everybody's like, "Oh, Seattle." All that. I'm telling you, Seattle's defense is not that good, and I mean, that's I will say Ryan Fitzpatrick is no Dak Prescott, no Matt Ryan, but I still think Miami's going to have a decent passing attack this week. Preston Williams, Devontae Parker, Mike Gesicki. Those are all plays in my opinion. Preston Williams, grab him. I hate to even say this because I can't stand the way the Eagles are playing right now. I'm not Eagles fan, but from a fantasy perspective, they have been absolutely this year. I kind of thought with Sean Jackson going back to Philadelphia, Wentz throwing the ball, obviously Alshon Jeffrey being hurt again, and then Jalen Reagor getting hurt. Literally almost the same, kind of the same thing for them. Dallas Goedert side. They have a lot of injuries. I mean, at this point in the season, there's not too many teams that don't have a lot of injuries. At least one injury, significant. So Sean Jackson's out. He's probably going to be out for 2-3 games, if not that. Greg Ward Jr. is they are playing the 49ers this week. The 49ers are banged up. I kind of look for a lot of Miles Sanders and Zach Ertz. I think he is a play. I mean, obviously, got to have somebody to throw the ball to. I don't have no idea who else they could throw to. I know I did see Richard Rodgers is third tight end, so involved. But Greg Ward would probably be the play there. Tampa Bay, I believe Curtis Godwin is out with a hamstring injury. That's going to elevate Scotty Miller. Kind of reminds me of Julian Edelman from England. Brady was there, so I look for Scotty Miller to have a pretty good game week against the Chargers. The Chargers are banged up, bad, more on defense than Herbert starting quarterback. I just think Tampa Bay's at home. I think Scotty Miller. Then the last guy that I have, but he has to run the ball for Miami. Gordon Howard is not it. Matt Breida is apparently not it. It's Myles Gaskin. If he had like 22 22 to 25 carries, 70 yards. So he's kind of a flex play. Bad thing with him as well. Jordan Howard is the bigger back, so he gets the goal line carries. But I like running back to get at least 20 and averaging at least like 15 to 20. That's another flex option. Well, so those are kind of some of the under the radar, like long shot kind of pickups for this week. Outside of the obvious ones everybody already knows about. Let's move on to stardom situm. Yeah, so I'm gonna fly through these. I'm not gonna go real in depth because I want to try to keep. So I'll go through my stardom situms. If you want to catch me, or if you have questions, hit me up on Twitter, Hunter1974 Twitter, which I will be doing a live fantasy football stream tomorrow night around between 7 to 8 p.m. Central. Twitch.tv, Ghost Hunter 1974. Appreciate the support. Smash the thumbs up. Always, if you like the video, if you have comments, you can comment down below. I say that. Anyway, hang on. Baltimore, Washington. Start LJ, start Andrews, start Boykin, Dobbins, and the Baltimore defense. The only guy that I remotely like for Washington is Antonio. Terry McLaurin, maybe. But they're a Logan Thomas might be a play too. Kelsey ripped Baltimore. I think it was 6 catches for Logan Thomas, potential flex play. You got Jonnu Smith, who's off this week. Eric Ebron. You got Jared Cook hurt. You got Goddard. There's a lot of injuries at tight end. So if you need somebody for a week, you could probably pull Thomas. I'm sitting Mark Ingram, Marquise, Wayne Haskins, and basically the rest of the offense. I think Baltimore is going to be pissed off after that loss Monday night. They're going to come out and they're going to smash Washington, Baltimore in that game, probably by a couple touchdowns. All right, Chargers, Tampa Bay. Already mentioned. Starting Brady, Mike Evans, Scotty Miller, Donald Jones III, Eckler, and Keenan Allen, Justin Herbert, Fournette, Hunter Henry. Fournette is in. I believe he has some sort of injury. Not sure what it is. He's out this week. So that's why I think RJ3 is a play. He can run, catch the ball. You saw what Mike Davis did. Chargers last week. So I'm going to go Tampa Bay by touchdown here. Seattle, Miami, as I mentioned. Obviously playing Russell, DK Metcalf, Tyler. And for Miami, starting Fitzy, Preston Williams, Zeki, and Devontae Parker. Gaskin, maybe a flex play there. I know Zeke did. In my opinion, Zeke is better than Gaskin, and I think overall the Dallas offensive line is better than mine. So I don't know how well Gaskin would beat. Excuse me, Chris Carson's banged up. He was supposed to miss. There's report that he and Carlos Hyde, they both have injuries, but they so if they can't go, Travis Homer, Jay Dallas would be. I actually picked up Travis Homer, extremely thin at running back. I have Jordan Howard in question mark. I mean, he's like a low end flex play just for touchdown. Um, Other than that, yeah, I don't know, but uh, I don't know. I think Seattle comes out on top here. I'm gonna say it's gonna be closer than everybody. I'm gonna say they win it by. That's that. Moving on to Minnesota, Houston. Two teams that are both going in wrong direction. Somebody has to get their first win. I'm saying to start Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, and then Sean Watson, David Johnson, Brandon Cooks may be a flex, but I said this after the Chiefs. Like he not proven that that he can stay healthy and can be a big game target. I don't trust him and I don't like him right now. Gonna have to step up and prove he can do more than 2 catches for yards, and I think he might have had a touchdown last week. Anyway, I'm sitting Kirk Cousins, Cooks, Rudolph, and Fells. I'm just Cousins just isn't not consistent enough. That offense isn't consistent enough. The defenses, both defenses are they have their weaknesses. Every defense does, but I don't know. This one's kind of tough to call. I'm taking Minnesota by a field goal here. I don't know which team still wants to play this season. Basically, is the way I look at it. Minnesota played well. Probably should. I had Tennessee in that game. Anyway, going to Minnesota on the road. Orleans versus Detroit. I might have to rethink this pick. Detroit's going back home after beating Arizona last upset. Kenny Galladay's back. As I mentioned, Saints corners are out. Starting corner. That doesn't bode for them. No Michael Thomas. No Jared Cook. That doesn't leave a whole lot of options for New Orleans. So I'm going to start Breeze, start Sanders, starting Kamara. Obviously, your Latavius Murray is probably a flex play because Kamara's going to be doing a lot of receiving work. So I think Latavius Murray is going to get probably 10 to 15 carries. Then AP for Detroit, Galladay, MJ. I'm saying you probably start Stafford now. I didn't know that the Saints were missing. I would say that Stafford would be a start. Sits Saints wide receivers: Kerryon Johnson, Jay Hawkinson, DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift, I know he dropped that pass the first week. I don't know going to get, so I'm sitting him. Saints, I don't even know who they're going to play. I mean, it's Traquan Smith, I believe. Deontay Harris, I think. So, I mean, those two guys are like, you're reaching for the bottom of the barrel there. Originally, I had New Orleans in that game. I don't know now. I might have to flip that and take Detroit. No, I know Detroit's not that good. One's really they've not been playing well either. They're looking pretty rough offensively, so I might have to flip. So that one's still kind of up in the air. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. But I gave you your starts and sits. Right now, it's New Orleans leaning towards flipping to Detroit. On to Cleveland, Dallas. This is probably going to should be an offensive shootout, I would say, but see. So I'm starting Baker. I'm starting OBJ. Starting Chubb. Starting Jarvis Landry and Dak, Zeke, Gallup, and Lamb. Sitting Hooper, Kareem Hunt, Schultz, Amari Cooper, and just I don't know. Amari Cooper just hasn't really impressed me this year. Maybe I've missed some. Try to keep up with the games every week, but maybe I've missed. Seems like Michael Gallup and CeeDee Lamb are providing a lot more. They're able to stretch the field, whereas was running underneath. Um, if our memory serves me, the Browns have decent underneath coverage. Linebackers, corners aren't the best. Looking for Gallup and Lamb to have good games. Obviously, we all the problems with the Cowboys. Somebody, either OBJ or Jarvis Landry, is going to light up the secondary. Cubs should do all right. Be there, but I'm taking Dallas. Probably going by 7 there. Another great game week. Jacksonville, Cincinnati. We needed to get the whistle wet there. So I'm starting Gardner Minshew, DJ Shark, Tyler Eifert coming back to Cincinnati. I think he's going to have a good game. James Robinson. Then on the other side, as I mentioned earlier, I mentioned T. Higgins, but I'm starting Joe Burrow, Tyler Boyd, Higgins. I hate to say this, but like I literally have this guy a couple weeks. He hasn't done squat this year. It's Joe Mixon. I have him question mark for um. I just don't know what to do. I don't feel comfortable telling you to start him. Um, I think they need to draft a running back because they don't have any. Period. I mean, Joe Mixon is Cincinnati's tight ends are not very good right now, and I wouldn't play AJ Green either. I'm not sold on him. Jacksonville, I'm not playing the fish. Keelan Cole maybe. I'm gonna go Jacksonville by field that one. I just think I know I said this at the beginning, but Jacksonville's not bad, but they're not the two teams. I think Jacksonville's better. Take Jacksonville there. I'll probably lose. Indy versus Chicago. Start Jonathan Taylor. Start Zach Pascal. Start Mo Alley Cox. Start David Montgomery. Allen Robinson. Jimmy Graham. Sitting Rivers, Hines, Dwight Hilton, Anthony Miller, Nick Folk. I think this is going to be a little bit more of a defensive game. Bears offense, I know it looked good with Foles last week, but let's face it, they were playing Atlanta. You know what has happened to Atlanta the first digit lead. Indianapolis' defense is very, very good. I played them last week, and I don't remember right offhand how many had. They had 2 interception returns for touchdown. I look for them to try to control the ball on offense. Jonathan Taylor, probably Mo Alley Cox, Zach Pascal. I don't like T.Y. I'm almost to the point where I'm ready to trade T.Y. Hilton. Bad thing is, I'm probably not going to get because he has not done anything this year. I literally thought he was Philip Rivers' new. Sadly mistaken. You could probably. I'm starting Indy's D. Chicago's not 100% sure. They're not bad. Like I said, I think this is going to be a defensive game, and I'm going to take Indiana. Next game, this it's going to be an interesting game, but I'm pretty confident in my pick. Arizona, Carolina. We're starting Kyler Murray, Kenyon Drake, D Hop. Then switching to Carolina, we're going Mike Davis, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson. I have Larry Fitz as a question mark, like a flex play. The guy that I think could be that flex play low end is Andy Isabella. Kyler Murray seems to hook up with him in the red zone quite a bit. He had two against Detroit. Hop, I don't think he had one. 26 to 23, that lost. So I think they're going to play a lot better this week. Defense isn't bad. So I'm sitting Ian Thomas and Teddy Bridgewater. Bridgewater's just not. I mean, if you're hurting, I mean, they have good wide receivers. Mike Davis is a horrible running back, but overmatched Arizona's games. Taking Arizona by a touchdown. Carolina. The next one, I'm literally just going to make this one very short. Start everybody on the Rams offense and defense. Sit everybody on the Giants. Rams are playing a lot better this year. Their defense, obviously Buffalo's offense is really good, so I kind of sort of toss that game. New York can't. The Giants can't do anything. They have guys banged up all over the place. I'm actually forced to start Evan Ingram in a couple of leagues. I'm not even telling you to start anybody from the Giants. Start the Rams. Sit the Giants at LA by 14 game. Moving on, Buffalo, Las Vegas. Start Josh Allen. Start Devin Singletary. Start Stephon. Then I have question marks for John Brown. As I mentioned earlier, Gabriel Davis. This is why I'm a little leery of starting John Brown because I didn't even know that he had an issue last week. He tried to play, he ended up leaving. I can't remember his first or second quarter. That kind of hurt me a little bit in a couple of weeks because he didn't do anything. So be careful there. The only two guys I'm starting from Raiders, Josh Jacobs and Darren Waller. I don't like any of the Las Vegas receivers. Not really big on Denver and Dawson Knox. I'm not really big on the Buffalo tight ends in this. I think this one could be a little bit closer than what everybody thinks, but I'm going to go Buffalo by 10. England, Kansas City. Again, another interesting game. Kansas City coming off the night win Baltimore. I'm going to say quote unquote win. The Raiders were undefeated, but kind of unproven to me. Starting Cam, starting Julian Edelman, starting James White, possibly starting Sony Michel like a flex play there. Kind of depends on who gets the ball running back, but I think Rex Burkhead used his fantasy. And obviously the Chiefs starting Mahomes, starting Clyde Edwards, Kelsey Hill, and I'm starting Sammy Watkins this week. I'm sitting Cole Hardman, Marcus Robinson, Rex Burkhead, New England tight ends, and then I don't know. Like I said, the Chiefs playing at home, play fairly decent at home. If this was like a full stadium, I would be. But as you know, COVID, I think they're only allowing so many fans in. So it's still probably they're still going to make noise. I'm going to go. It's going to be closer than everybody thinks. I'm going to go the Chiefs touchdown. But it could be less than that. Sunday night game: Eagles, 49ers. Are like I said earlier, thoroughly disappointed with your fantasy standpoint. I'm starting Miles Sanders, Greg Ward, Zach Ertz. Those are the only three guys I have any faith in. The offense. On the 49ers side, I'm going Jerick McKinnon, George Kittle, Nick Mullins, the San Francisco defense. Then I have Deebo Samuel down. He's supposed to. How much he will play, I don't know. I would love to start him. I have him in a couple of weeks because I knew he was going to be out first 4 weeks, but kind of like unsure when he was going to come back. Honestly, I would sit him this week, see what he does. You're, I know a lot of us are desperate at this point, so if you're desperate, I think if he does play, I plays a even if he plays 50, I think he could have a touch. There's high risk. What is it? High risk, high reward. I guess that there's a high risk that not ready, so he plays a little bit. Doesn't high reward. He gets 1 or 2 touchdowns, and I'm going 49ers in that one. I'm gonna go that San Francisco by a touchdown. Oh, sorry, going to San Francisco by a touchdown. Got to tell you, not playing Wentz, not playing any of the other, not playing any of the other 49ers. Taylor, what's his name? The wide receiver Taylor. He's the only other guy I would play. I can't remember his first name. Other than that, what I said, and going San Francisco at home. Finally, Atlanta, Green Bay Monday night. Big question marks on Atlanta's side of the ball. Going through in my original, when I was writing it down, I had Julio Jones as it with a question mark. His hamstrings got a bum hamstring. So I went through a couple of my teams. I read that Julio supposedly is practicing limited fashion. All going to be ready to go Monday night. Problem with that, Calvin Ridley now has ankle and I can't remember what the other designation. He has two, and they said there's a possibility that he doesn't play. If he doesn't play, then that's Julio Jones is going to get a bunch. So I'm going Matt Ryan from the standpoint they're going to have to throw the ball because they're probably going to be behind at some point. Or even if they throw the ball and they're up by 20, I still don't believe that they're going to on and beat Green. So I'm going Matt Ryan. I have Ridley and Julio Jones question mark. Pay attention injury report because it's going to be important tomorrow, sure, because they don't do any injury reports on Sunday. You have one of those guys in your lineup and it comes to Monday, you're going to have a hard time filling that position. You can have somebody from Atlanta or Green Bay backing up. Be very, very careful. So pay attention to injury reports tomorrow. Like I said, I will be live on Twitch tomorrow night, somewhere between 7 and 8 p.m. 3 updates, and we'll be going over these stardom systems and Gurley I have as a flex play. I'm not sure. I think he'll provide enough of a problem. If Ridley's out, that's going to his value. And Brian Hill, as I mentioned, Gurley's going to. Brian Hill's proven to be that guy. And Hayden Hurst as well. He could have a decent game. Starting Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and Robert Tonyan. Tonyan's a tight end. Hurting for tight end. He's the guy that I would look. Obviously, Valdez-Scantling. He is literally the only loosely proven Green Bay wide receiver. Like I said, sits. I had Julio Jones, and then I have Green Bay wide receivers. And any of the Tyler Irwin or Irvin, he's the only guy that probably a low end. He's probably going to get a little bit all the injuries. I'm going to go Packers by 7 at home. I think it could be 10, 15. Just not sold on Atlanta. They've literally built 3 games. 3 games they should have won in a row. They should have beat Seattle probably. Definitely should have beat Dallas. They should have 100% beat Chicago. Green Bay, in my opinion, is better than Chicago. They're better than Dallas when fully healthy. I mean, literally. What do you say? So, anyway, that is the quick run through. As I said, follow me on Twitter, Hunter1974 goes. Drop me questions. A conundrum on who you start or who you sit. Be live on .tv/GhostHunter1974 tomorrow night between 7 p.m. 8 p.m. Central Time. Follow me on there. You will know when I go live. Appreciate you guys checking out the YouTube channel, and we will see for some FIFA stuff on Monday. Peace.